Hello everyone, welcome on this e-learning platform of Apex Institute of Physics. In this video we will talk about equivalent capacitance. Basically this is a continuation of the previous video in which we started discussing about the equivalent capacitance. In the previous video, if I recall you, we talked about certain types of combinations like series combination, parallel combinations, their general formulas, and some mixed combinations questions. In this particular video we will talk about another examples in which we will be trying to find out the equivalent capacitance, and there will be maybe a different way of working for that in some of the examples. So let's see with an example and move ahead. So this is again simpler example. This is there's a circuit having capacitor C1, C2, C3, and let's say this point is A and this point is B. And if somebody asking find C equivalent, find equivalent capacitance between point A and B. So we know this particular combination is in a series combination, and hence our answer will become 1 upon C total, or CAB, or C equivalent is going to be equal to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. So that's the simplest example that we have already done. Now if we make certain modifications in this and then we try to solve it, so let me write it as another example and make some modification on this figure. Now this example is this, it is shown in the figure. The same figure is again, but a slight change. This terminal is A point, this terminal is B point. What I have done now, I have joined this point of this circuit, or then part of the circuit, with this point. And this black color is indicating a conducting wire. Now whenever there is a wire connection, right, so we will always say the potential of conductor is same at all the points. That means this point has a potential equal to the potential of B. This point is also going to be we have like a potential of B. So potential difference between these two capacitors C2 and C3 combined together is going to be 0. If the potential difference is 0, that means we will say there will be no charge residing on these capacitors. The reason being, if there is a charge, there has to be a potential difference, right? And the C2 and C3 is going to get, these two will get the same charge. And since potential difference is 0, then that same charge must be 0. So point is, C2 and C3 is not going to store any charge in this particular case. And if someone asks find equivalent capacitance, so we can find equivalent capacitance in this case as well, capacitance between A and B. We will say this circuit is same as the circuit in which this C2 and C3 is not present. So if we remove the C1, C2 and C3, then we'll find if we start from A, we will be crossing the C1, then the conducting wire, and then coming to the point B. Right, so when we move from A to B, we will be encountering only one capacitance, which is C1. And C2, C3 will be playing no role in the circuit because they cannot store any charge, or we can say the charge stored in this capacitor is always going to be 0. So from here we can say directly that this circuit is going to deliver CAB as C1, and there will be no role of C2 and C3. So point that has to be taken from this example is, if we connect some points by a conducting wire, then all the points are going to have a same potential. That means this point is also going to behave like point B as far as the potential is concerned. So A and B will have only C1, and B and B will have a C2, C3. That means there will be no potential difference, right? So whenever the conductor comes in, we will be finding this kind of results. Let me give you another example and see what your response is. So if I join this point A and this point by a conducting wire, that means conducting wire is over C1, then can you find what the C equivalent is going to be? That means what is going to be C equivalent between points A and B, or terminals A and B. So you just try this and write the answer in the comment box. I hope you can do by using the rule that we have just learned. Conductor has a same potential across it, right? So use it and find it out. Let's move ahead and consider another example. again C1, C2, C3, these were the capacitors, and we have connected them with some conducting wires like this as shown in the figure, and still we are looking for the same quantity. That means we are looking for finding equivalent between A and B. So here if we try to find out, like this is a potential A, so this point will also have a potential A. This is potential B, so this point is also going to have a potential B. And then here let's talk about the C1. Can we say the charge on C1 is going to be 0? No, we can't say so, because C1 has a potential difference that is between point A and B, so it's going to have a potential difference, hence it's going to have a charge. Similarly, C2 is going to have a potential difference of equivalent to B and A, so this is C2 is also going to have a charge. Similarly, C3 is going to have a charge. So all the capacitors will be useful in the circuit. Since they are all useful, so we cannot remove any of them, or we can say any of them is not redundant. So we need to identify whether they are in series, in parallel. Again, we look at it, it's not so obvious whether they are in series or in parallel. So what we are going to do, we are going to redraw the circuits. Whenever there is a large conducting wires connecting, then we can say it's going to be easier to redraw the circuit. So let's say redraw it. So I'm redrawing it. And let's say how this drawing is going to help us. Now what happens, like if we need to redraw any circuit, we need to keep in mind the capacitor where it is connected. We need to make or keep that connection intact. That means we should not change the connections. If we are changing the connections, then that will be equal to changing the circuit, and the changing the circuit is not allowed in equation, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to keep the connection where they are. For that sake, let's say we name some point. Let's say this point is named as a point D, and where this wire is connected, let's say that point is E. So we are having 4 points that we can see here. One point is A, another point is B, and then D, then E. These are the 4 points. Now C1 is connected between A and D, so we will keep C1 connected between A and D. C2 is connected between D and E, so we will keep that connection intact. Similarly, C3 has to be connected between E and B. Now we know by our concepts or properties of conductor, that means potential of point A must be same as potential of point E. Similarly, potential of point B is going to same as the potential of point D. Now if the points are of the same potential, then we can draw those points at the same location, because same potential point can always be located at the same location. So what we are going to do, we are going to draw 2 points. One point is going to be A, another point is going to be B, and then we will try to draw all the points which have the same potential at the same location. So along with A, the potential of E is same as the potential of A, so E point is also supposed to be drawn at the same location. So we will say this point is also behaving like point E. Similarly, D point has a potential same as B point, so we can say this point is also going to behave like a point D. So ultimately we will have in this case 2 points to connect the capacitors. Now let's connect the C1 capacitor. C1 is connected between A and D, so A point is this, D point is this, so between A and D we will connect a capacitor and we will name it as a C1. So that's a C1. Then we'll go to the C2. C2 is connected between D and E. That's a D point, that's a E point. So between D and E we need to connect C2. So we can go from the D, that's why we are starting from the D, and we are trying to connect a capacitor with the point E. So that will be C2 capacitor that we have connected. Now let's go for the capacitance C3, which is between E and B. So we need to search. E is this, B is this, so between E and B there has to be another capacitor that's called C3. Now you have connected C1, C2, C3 across the points where they were connected. Now this redrawing circuit, if you look at carefully here, we will be able to identify the combinations in which C1, C2, C3 are connected. Can we identify the combinations? Yes, we can identify this combination as a parallel combination. Since this is a parallel combination, so what we are going to write? Can we say C equivalent or CAB is equal to In case of parallel, we write C1 plus C2 plus C3. In this case, we are going to again write C1 plus C2 plus C3. So that means if these wires are connected like this, then equivalent capacitance across A and B is going to be C1 plus C2 plus C3. Now you can see based on these few examples that our answer depends on how we are connecting this conducting wires. So by changing their locations or their connections, we will get a different answer each time. And sometimes it becomes easy to redraw the circuit. That means the circuit that we have drawn is equivalent to the circuit which we had earlier, right? So this technique also works in several cases where long connecting wires are visible, so we can make it simpler and see which type of combination they are in. Let's take another example. This is the figure and the question remains the same. We need to find equivalent capacitance across the points A and B. So we need to find C equivalent between terminals A and B. Now in this case there are 5 capacitors connected. They have named it as C1, C2, C3, C4 and C5. Now to solve this, we will start trying, like either we can go for connecting a battery or potential V and finding the charge Q, then relating the Q is equal to C into V. The C is going to be C equivalent, right? So there you need to make a couple of equations like Junction's law and Loops law, and you can solve from there. And if we start by looking at whether some capacitors are in series or some are in parallel, now you will try to find, then you will find neither of the two are visible in series, because for they to be in series there has to be same charge flowing, but we are not sure. Similarly, we are not able to identify whether they are in any of two are in parallel. So here series, parallel or mixed combination we are not able to decide. Then we will try to redraw it. If we are redrawing it, then we will find the same kind of circuit, because there is a no connecting wire which is useless, or you say like that's extra involved. So this combination is here. Now this is a particular type of combination. Solving is going to be a little bit complicated, but yes, in a particular case this solving becomes very, very easy. Let's say name this terminal as a point D and this terminal point E. Now the potential of A, D, B, E, they can be different potentials, right? So redrawing won't work. Now there's a particular case that's going to be useful for us. Now whenever this kind of combination you are going to find, this particular combination is known as Wheatstone bridge. So that's known as Wheatstone bridge. So this Wheatstone bridge is going to be two category type. Either it will be balanced or it will be unbalanced. So we will say in case of if we find a particular condition, that condition is, that means the ratio of their corresponding capacitance are equal. That means in case we find this, what, C1 divided by C2, that means or let's say C3, we are dividing in this fashion, C1 divided by C3, this equal to C2 divided by C4. So if this ratio or these ratios of capacitors are equal, then we say this Wheatstone bridge is balanced. So we say this Wheatstone bridge is balanced Wheatstone bridge. Now if this Wheatstone bridge is balanced, that means some particular stuff. That means the potential of D is same as the potential of E. So whenever we will find a balanced Wheatstone bridge, that means the ratio of these capacitors are equal, then the potential of D point will be same as the potential of E point. Now this is in case of balanced Wheatstone bridge. This can be proved. To prove it, you start with a battery, then put the charge and try to solve it, and try to use this condition. Whenever you use this condition, you'll find the potential of D and E are going to be equal. So you can consider it as a homework and try to find when we make this thing, the potential of D and E becomes equal. or you can work in a otherwise round. That means if you consider potential of D and E to be equal, you will find this condition back. That means it is both ways true. So either you can go in this way or you can go in other way around. Now what the benefit of this achieving this condition is a very useful. If we achieve this condition, that means we can say the potential across C5 is 0, or we can say potential difference across C5 is 0. So the charge on the C5 will always be 0. That means C5 will never store any charge. If a capacitor is not storing any charge in a circuit, it does not play any role in it. That means we can remove that C5 out of the circuit. So C5 will not play any role in that circuit. Hence the simplified circuit will become this. So this circuit will get converted into this format. Once it is getting converted into this format, now we can easily find out what the this equivalent capacitance is going to be between terminals A and B. For that sake, we will say C1 and C2, they are going to be in series. So we can simplify C1 C2 in series combination. Similarly, we can simplify C3 and C4 in series combination, and this after that these two will be in parallel combination. And we know the formula of series solving and parallel solving combinations, right? So point is, this complex figure, which is known as Wheatstone bridge, can be made very simplified by removing the capacitor which is connecting these two terminals. And this can be removed only if we are ensured that the potential difference across these 2 points are going to be 0, and that potential difference will be 0 if this Wheatstone bridge is balanced. For condition for that balancing is this. So this condition has to be there only if we are able to say so. So if we are finding the ratio of corresponding capacitance equal, then we can say C5 can be removed. Then the equivalent circuit will become this, which can be easily solved to find out the C equivalent for this circuit. I hope after this point it can be handled and solved. Let us consider another example. In this example, we have been given this kind of circuit in which there are terminal points A and B. C is connected, then again C connected, then C connected, then C connected, and this process keeps on repeating, and it goes up to, let's say, infinite terms, and it's moving up to infinite terms, and this is known as infinite ladder. So what we need to do, we need to find again the same thing, find equivalent capacitance between terminals A and B, and this kind of network of capacitance is known as infinite ladder. Infinite ladder. So there is a set of way to solve it, and let's learn that way. If this kind of question will come in the future, you can use that process. Now it's obvious that if we start for finding the series and parallel combination, we are not going to find it, and solving is going to be very difficult because it goes to infinite number of terms. That means this kind of C and C combinations are going to be infinite in number. So what we can say, we will be starting like this. We will assume, let our answer, that means C across AB, that means C equivalent that we are going to find is a number called C0. So this C0 is something that we are interested in to find out, and then we will say, let's consider another point set or 2 points. Let's say this is a point named as P, this is point named as Q, and let's say the circuit on the left side of these points is absent. That means if we remove this set, this is 1, then this network of capacitor will be again visible exactly similar as it was earlier, because there is an infinite number of combinations of C and C, and what we are doing, out of those infinite number of combinations, we are removing one set of combination. So one set we are removing. So if out of infinite values, if we remove one value, it hardly matters. That means across P and Q, we will be finding the similar infinite ladder. In fact, it will be same for all practical purposes. That means this will allow us to claim something, that will allow us to claim that C equivalent between PQ points will also be same as that is between A and B points. Are you getting this point? That's important point that we are using. Let me say again it. What I'm using is, first I assumed that equivalent between A and B is C naught. Fine. Then we considered P and Q points, just leaving one set that repeats itself. And let's imagine only right hand portion across this PQ. So from this PQ points, if we imagine the right hand side network, since it runs up to infinity, this network will be almost same as the original network across A and B. The only difference is going to be across this AB points, there's going to be infinite number of this kind of connections, whereas across P and Q there will be infinite -1 connections. We know if we subtract 1 out of infinity, it remains infinity. So that means the network across P and Q will be same as that was across AB. Hence, the equivalent capacitance across P and Q will come as same as that across AB. Hence, this number is also going to be C naught. Once we are able to relate this, then this circuit can be said that if we remove this right hand side portion, then that will be equivalent of C naught. So this circuit can be redrawn. Let's redraw it. And this redrawn circuit will have a point A, this will have a point B, that's final terminals, and it will have a capacitance C that was there. Then there will be a point P that we made, and before that P point there was another capacitor connected, and that was connected with this point P, and there is a point Q. So this is the network. Or let me redo it a bit better. So that's the point is Q. Now what this entire network right hand side of PQ is going to be, say, can we say this infinite network can be replaced by its equivalent? So I'm replacing that infinite network by its equivalent. So that means here we can say there's only one capacitance or capacitor which is equal to C naught. If we connect this C naught, this black color equivalent is representing entire right hand side network. And then these capacitors that I have plotted or drawn here, they will have a capacitance C. So the above network of infinite series is become now finite. Now this is a finite circuit which we can solve. And if we solve this and try to find out what the equivalents A and B is going to be, so that equivalent will also be equal to C naught as we assumed initially. So let's try to solve this. If we try to solve this, we will find first C and C naught are going to be in parallel. So they are going to be in parallel, so this could be reduced to this. That means we will have a point A, there will be a capacitance C connected, and from this capacitance or capacitor we are having a connection, one capacitor which is equivalent of these two, and there is a terminal B, and which can be joined with this point. This capacitor is equivalent of C and C naught in parallel combination, and we know in parallel combination they add up, C plus C naught. So this becomes equal to C plus C naught. Hence finally we will find these two capacitors which are in series. So we can say now that 1 upon CAB that we are looking for, this equivalent, is going to be 1 upon C plus 1 upon C plus C naught. Now as we have already talked about, or initially we assumed that CAB is also C naught. So placing CAB as a C naught, 1 upon, so it becomes 1 upon C naught is equal to 1 upon C plus 1 upon C plus C naught. Now what we have got ultimately is an equation, and this equation has C naught is as only variable, and if we can solve it and find C naught, then that will become our answer. So this is how we can find our answer using the concept of the concept that we learned over here. Right, now let's solve it to get the final answer, and we can remember that answer as well, because this is a popular question. So this is going to be equal to 1 upon C naught is equal to, we can have a cross multiplication and whatever we know, C plus C naught plus C divided by C into C plus C naught. That's going to be quadratic equation. We can solve that quadratic equation to get our answer. Let's multiply them cross multiplication. So it's going to be C square plus C naught into C, and then plus is equal to that side twice C into C naught will become twice C C naught, and C naught into C naught will become C naught square. Now here C naught is a variable, or unknown rather I should say, and C is a known number. So we should remember which is unknown and which is known numbers. So let's collect them. If we are collecting, it's going to be C naught square, and C naught will come aside, so it will become C into C naught, and minus C square is equal to 0. Now that's a quadratic equation. In C naught we can find the roots of it, and that will become answer. Now let's try to find the root. So C naught as a solution is going to be equal to, we know the rule that says minus B, so it's going to be minus C plus minus under root B square, which is equal to C, so C square minus 4A, which is 1, C which is minus C square, so this becomes plus C square, divided by twice into A, so that's a twice. If we can carry with this, so it's because minus C plus minus, it will become root 5 C divided by 2. Now if we take a minus sign, then the capacitance will become negative, and we know the capacitance is always positive, capacitance can never be negative, so we need to drop the minus version and we need to carry with the plus sign. If we take the plus sign, then the answer becomes C naught is equal to root 5 minus 1 root 5 minus 1 by 2 C. So our C naught came out to be root 5 minus 1 by 2 into C. Hence the equivalent capacitance in this particular example is this. So in case of infinite ladder, we will find this is going to be equivalent capacitance if C is the capacitor that we are repeatedly using. Now if C has been given as a numerical value, we can remember this as our answer, and we can put the value of C to get our answer quickly. And we should not go for all these calculations. As long as C is known to us, we can find out our answer is going to be root 5 minus 1 upon 2 and 2 into C. So that's called infinite ladder, a particular case in which we need to find the equivalent capacitance. Now I'm giving you a question you need to solve based on this infinite ladder. This again an infinite ladder question, and it says find equivalent capacitance between points A and B, and this infinite ladder is run up to infinity. Now the difference in this case is this is C and C, then the next is coming as 2C 2C, then further next is coming as a 4C 4C, and the next will be coming as a 8C 8C, and similarly. That means every time the capacitance is getting multiplied by 2. I'm going to give you a bit hint, and you need to try and answer on the comment section. Now hint is, and that hint is needed for you, and the hint is you assume CAB as C naught. So if the equivalent capacitance across AB is C naught, then if we take 2 points as we took in the previous example, P and Q, can you think of what the capacitance across these 2 points P and Q is going to be? If you can think of this, then you will get your answer. Now just to hint you, across AB it started with C, then answer came out C naught. Across PQ it starts from 2C. Then can we think of what the answer is going to be? It's going to be twice of C naught. So if the across AB is C naught, then across PQ you are going to get as a twice C naught. With this hint or starting point, you can go ahead and replace it by this finite circuit, solve, you will be able to get your answer. Then write your answer in the comment section below. Well, so that's all for this video, and there are certain types of other circuits that we can solve or find the equivalent capacitance. So we will have one more video to find out the equivalent capacitance. So please revise it, make your notes, keep on following and keep on working harder. Thank you for watching. Have a great time.